Hello, everybody. This is Ren or Rennie, whatever you want to call me. And I wasn't suspecting to make a video, but there was a surprise in my last video. Aragon showed up, and I didn't expect to receive a reply from Aragon. He was like, "Oh, there's like other important things other than like having a VIP membership. Like a VIP membership would only get you so far. Like you gotta make sure that you upload your mounts to Mystic, and it's kind of a lot like they are already upgraded to Mystic." And I mean, like, it took me a while to get a polar bear. I really wanted a polar bear. It took me a while to get it. And it's kind of like, I didn't pay for this one. Um, and these, like, golden insignias, they're really, like, hard to get. Like, you would think that a golden insignia would automatically come with a VIP membership, but the golden insignias don't already come with a VIP membership. With trade bars, you could only get like the purple insignias, and it's kind of like I do wonder how many trade bars did I have left. Does it? Let me go to my inventory. Kind of glitchy right there. Let me see how many trade bars I have left. Yeah, I don't have much left because I also use quite a bit of it. Like I have been like a VIP for like I don't know like since the pandemic, but I kind of used that for to let's just summon another. Yeah, I used that to get my companions up to miss five of them up to Mystic, and well, you could look and see like I did like put lots of efforts into this game. Hopefully I don't disconnect, but oh well. Okay, the game crashed on me. But I am back, but I I'll try to go back to where I left off. I think I was on companions. Um, there we go. Like I did upgrade them all to Mystic. And I guess I should have covered it, but it's kind of like I just didn't really think about covering it. But it's like Aragon was like, "Oh no, you gotta upgrade and your companion's Mystic." But I've done that already, and I'm crashing again. And uh, this is so annoying. But I always have this problem with this game. Probably not the game's fault. It's probably on my end though. But as you can see, it hasn't really done anything for my item level. My item level is still 56k. I mean, sure, I am doing better than people that don't pay anything into the game, except for the old players that invested in the game like very very early. The old players, because I know that's like my guild leader. He's like, "Oh, I've been playing the game for like 4 years straight." So, he's like playing for free and it doesn't negatively impact him. His item level score is like 72k or 80k, I forget which. But it's kind of like it seems like the most important thing. I would say, in my opinion, that the most important thing would be the insignias, but it's kind of like when it comes to trade bar store, it's only purple, and the only thing you could really do is buy a buy up a bunch of purple insignias and then refine them and then upgrade them to gold. And that is really really time consuming, especially since I don't really have all that much. I don't really have all that much left from upgrading everything else. And I just don't feel like it's kind of like worth it. Some people say that you could buy like greens in bulk in the auction house, but all I saw was like a green here, a green there. Like people don't, as far as I've seen, like I haven't seen like, like 99 green. I would see like one green. Like, let me just click right here, insignias. Yeah, it would just be like one each. It wouldn't be like 99. It would be like really, really time consuming no matter how you look at it. I'll also put it this way. Let me see. Let me get rid of that. Like, okay, sure, if I were to go for a dragon hunt, I could do that like pretty fast. But if I were to do like, Reaper's challenge, that takes forever. If I were to do like let's say it's a RTQ, that takes forever. If I were to do an RADQ, that takes like forever. I suspect that it has a dying gaming population. And the reason why I think it has a dying gaming population is because, like nearly no matter what you click on, it takes forever. And sometimes, especially like when it comes to like, I don't know, the BHE, the big epic heroic encounters, doing an epic heroic encounter could take forever because you're looking for additional players. It's kind of like when you're trying to do Rema Haas and Icewind Dale, or it took me forever to do the Storm King, uh, a major epic encounter, the BHE. It took me forever because I couldn't really find any other players, and it's kind of like, when I asked the guild for help, only one person in the guild volunteered to help. We failed it, and then they like bailed. It's like, okay, they bailed. It's like, okay, they bailed, went to do a dragon hunt. So I suspect that there is a dying gaming population. Like, do I know for sure? Do I have like an ability to see like how many people stayed with the game and how many people left the game? No, but I could only go by like, I don't really see any players around even when a major epic encounter show up. So it's like, if there's an epic encounter, where are the other players? I cannot do this all by myself. Or it would be like, if I am like, why does it take forever to queue up? Why is nobody there when it comes to like where are the other players for the Reaper challenge? Where are the other players? And the reason why I've highlighted this the most is because it's, angered the most players. Because the new ones look a lot, it's pretty much recycled old. It's not really something new, it's something recycled old. Like, this isn't what people meant when they say they want new things. This isn't really new at all. It's just a waste of money. And here's the sad part. This is what I didn't include in my last video. Is that at least with a VIP membership,
Magic is like fire. The tiniest spark can become a raging inferno.
at least with a VIP membership, there used to be there used to be enchantments that are upgraded to like level 8 or whatever, or level 9 to level 10, and it's already like decently upgraded if you like open up, open up a locked box. For like, it's kind of like, because as I said in the last video, the Coalescent modes cost $10, which is really pricey. But it's kind of like, you would actually get decently upgraded enchantments into like a lot box, kind of like, I think it's the one where you would get the Witch's Cauldron. Because this one right here, the Witch's Cauldron locked box, and it's kind of like you keep clicking on the lock box, and they'll give you like upgraded enchantments. The enchantments will be like level 8s and level 9 enchantments. But it's kind of like they don't give you like enchantments anymore, and it's kind of like if I am spending like $51 for the VIP membership because I had the 6 month VIP membership. It's kind of like, wouldn't you think that I would want, like, hey, like maybe like for each month that you are a member, each full month that you are a member, you get one free Colescent Malts, or alternatively, if you don't want to do that, it's kind of like for each month that you are a member, you would get a collectible, but at at a discount at the auction house. It's kind of like for VIP members, it's kind of like you could still get a mold, but it would be like for like I don't know 1,000 trade bars, or it's kind of like you had to get or like maybe like it's there for you, but it's probably like a cheaper astro diamonds for sure, like cheaper astro diamonds. Like, let me just go to the auction house again. Let's see. Try to Colescent molds. Colescent. For it to be cheaper than this, for it to be like, okay, like we're gonna give you some molds, but we're gonna give you a molds for like I don't know, 1K, or what's it? Well, actually, okay, like 1 million astral diamonds. You're only going to pay 1 million astral diamonds for collectibles. We're going to give you a VIP discounts on the most. So for as long as you have a VIP, it's kind of like we're going to give you a one-time discount, but you had to be like a VIP for so long to get a discount. And I think that would be fair because it is a pricey item. I think it's only fair that if a person already spent $51 on the 6 month memberships, like, hey, we have a record of all of our 6 month members. We're going to give you a special discount. But they don't do that. It does feel, and I'm not the only one who feels that way. We're going to get into that in a second. I am going to go and I am just going to play a clip from another person who has the exact same complaints about Neverwinter, because I am not alone in this. This Neverwinter has frustrated so many of their paying players. And I mean, even if you're free, I don't think it's worth it either, even as a free player, because um, it was hard for me to get into Dragonvale, even with a VIP membership. You would think that having a VIP membership would make it easy for me to get into Dragonvale, but it's kind of like even with the a VIP membership, I didn't think that I would ever get into Dragonvale. I basically asked a guild member to give me some golden insignias. I basically was like, hey, could you please give me some golden insignias so I could get into Dragonvale? And he gave me some golden insignias just so I could make it into Dragonvale. So if I needed help to get into Dragonvale, even with a VIP membership, imagine like if you were a new player and if you are a free to play player. If I didn't get any, if I basically had to ask somebody to give me golden insignias to get into Dragonvale, if you are a new player, how are you expected to get into a new area? And like that's where people like are most excited to go. People are the most excited for the new areas because the old areas are dull and boring and uninteresting, because eventually like you complete most of it, and even when you don't, you know that they're going to get rid of some of it. It's kind of like that little journal where they got rid of some of them, like they gotten rid of the Well of Dragons, and yeah, it's kind of like, it's like the Well of Dragons is gone, and what, I think that they did some, yeah, Sharondar. They basically got rid of the Sharondar from. I've been playing this game for I don't know, since the pandemic. But actually, I'm a returning player. I actually been playing since like I would say like 2015 or 2014. I've been playing for that long. I know how Sharondar was, and then they changed Sharondar to make this. Really, what I would really just do is that I would just collect I didn't collect all of the boons on this one, but I would just collect boons, and that's like I get my boons. It's like, okay, I got my boons. I'm done with this because it's like these maps, the things, the progress you make could just disappear as if you never did anything. And sometimes they bring the exact same area back, and you had to do the whole thing all over again. But what I want to do is share another player's complaints about Neverwinter, and his video is called Neverwinter Worst Game Ever. And he also shares like gaming reviews, like reviews of how many people gave Neverwinter a bad review because they felt that, Neverwinter was too greedy.
This is where my long-term player bias works against me, and if you've ever played this game, you'll notice it too. Pauper's Field Tomb is Castle Never. Well, it was Castle Never. It's the old Castle Never epic dungeon map. They've just used a small part of it. They do this a lot, kind of like how one of the Nobles' estates is just the Guild Castle map reused, or how the Adventurers Guild with Sergeant Knox in it is a reskin of one of the old tavern maps. Newer players won't notice, and of course for them it looks great, but I notice. They've had the same intro movie for 8 years and they're reusing old dungeon maps presented in a new way and calling it an update. It's not an update, it's just recycling. It's like how they removed 7 or 8 dungeons a couple of years ago and then slowly released them, touting them as new content. They weren't new, they just reskinned old. That's some reviews. Since its beginnings, it's gone way down. There's just too many things that don't work. Listing them all would be pointless. Has nothing to do with D&D, never really did, and the potential that was there in the beginning is now lost in a mountain of updates. Stories not fully developed, bad matchmaking, events that don't even make sense, and enough, this is making me sad. For what it is, it's a very decent free-to-play MMO. The in-store content isn't pushed super hard, combat is fun and engaging, if a little repetitive. Fans of the D&D books and lore will enjoy themselves. With every patch, game is getting worse. Currently, it's a cash grab on life support. They will sell best gear for dollars, and then nerf it a few months later to sell you the new best thing. It pains me to write this review, over 3,000 hours on record. The game is awesome, or to be more precise, was awesome. Unfortunately, the developers decided not to listen to the players, and with the new update, Neverwinter Online will become probably the only MMORPG where you actually get punished if you improve your gear. They call it scaling. Who in their right mind plays an MMORPG only to be punished for their success? It feels not very rewarding. As always, Cryptic Studios and Perfect World Entertainment having disgusting monetization system. The game is enjoyable for the first time you play it. However, after you achieve the max level, you either need to dump huge amounts of cash into it or you won't be accomplishing much. Therefore, you are in a dead end. If you play it, you either screw yourself to pay for it and stay relevant, or you don't buy anything and remain a noob forever. Found myself getting bored of WoW, so moved over to Neverwinter, and I must say I have not had this much fun in a long time. Highly suggest. I love the game for what it is. The gameplay and story keep me entertained, however I really hate how expensive everything is. The most interesting customization options are all locked behind very expensive paywalls. If what you're looking for is a fun endgame experience, Neverwinter is not the place for you. Leveling until 70 is genuinely a lot of fun. It's a romp inside the Dungeons and Dragons world. You can play as a bunch of fun classes, and it's all round a good time. That is, if you have friends to play with, and don't plan on trying to keep up with the veteran players, like ever, unless you're a wallet warrior. Even then, good luck. This review was written when level 70 was still the maximum, but the sentiment still applies to level 20. If you think I'm being unfair and have just cherry-picked the bad reviews, go to Steam and sort by most helpful and then scroll down. You'll see players with hundreds or thousands of hours of game time all saying stay away. It's not what it once was. It's gone from fun action game with grindable in-game currency and rewards to loot boxes, campaign completion tokens, and paywalls. If anything, I had to dig deep to find the positive reviews. My love for Neverwinter runs deep. I even went out.
Um, for those of you who would want to see the rest of that video, I would leave a link to the description below. But it's kind of like one of the reviews reminds me of an old video that I intended to make, and that is like, PvP is gone or mostly gone. I think you could still do PvP in like Icewind Dale. Like you could do like PvP in either Dwarven Valley or Icewind Pass. But they not only is PvP mostly gone as far as I know, but the storyline, it doesn't make any sense. Like if you are a person who's really into the storyline, right here it says that drakes are not born, they are made. However, in the screenshots I'm going to show you next, and in this other screenshots, the drakes are laying eggs. It's like the storyline is not thought out. So it's like not only do they not have any PvP, but it's kind of like if you want a better storyline, try Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. If you want a better storyline, play Final Fantasy 14, because you're not going to get an excellent storyline here. It's kind of like it's poorly thought out, because if you don't have PvP, but if you also don't have an excellent storyline that people could get lost and absorbed in, where people could be like, oh my goodness, the storyline is awesome. And I would say it originally had that, because let's not forget that Neverwinter is based off the game and it had books on it. And it seemed like the storyline was better when it was new. Again, I was like playing in like 2014 or 2015. And the reason why I quit, many players quit because their characters got nerfed. It's because it's like I was playing Trickster Rogue, and then Ranger was brand new. Not only that, but like Icewind Dale was brand new. Like I remember having a friend teaching me how to play like Icewind Dale, because it was a brand new area. So it's kind of like I quit Neverwinter for Rift. I didn't have a problem with Rift. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but the population died. I think it's because Blade versus Soul was coming out, and in my guild chats at the time, people were like, "Oh, Blade is Soul is a new game. Briny, shiny new bright objects. I'm gonna try this. Next best thing. It's like." But I had no problem with Rift. It's just that there were like no players at all. And even now the reviews are mostly awesome. And even like when people like return to Rift, it's like, oh, there's like really nothing to complain about. It's just that it was released at a really bad timing, because it's kind of like there were so many new games coming out that like when Blade versus Soul came out, everybody left Rift to play Blade versus Soul, because it was just the new thing. Like, oh, something new has been released. I'm gonna try that. And that's it. But yeah, like, so if you're into storylines, from what I hear, Final Fantasy and Bloodlines, Vampire Bloodlines Masquerade, which I would leave in the description below, because if I include clips of it, it would make the video way too long and unwatchable. So, if you want to see, other people play other games, I could link that to you. But yeah, those are my complaints about Neverwinter. Like, I still view it as greedy, and I just the population, I would say, is dying, and they don't really listen to players. Like, it seems like we have a problem of trying to get our voices heard, because it's like they don't listen to us. It doesn't even seem like a game that is made by, gamers for gamers. It doesn't seem like the people making the game are as, give you a game that they themselves are willing to play. It's like they give you this game and they want you to pay for it. And it's kind of like, do you even realize that you're in a competition with thousands of other games out there? There are thousands, if not millions, of games out there. You are, have lots of competition. And it's kind of like, it feels like you're overcharging people, but you're not giving people the best, like you're not giving us the best. It's just, oh, like spin. When really, think about how many people are negatively impacted because of COVID-19. COVID has negatively impacted the economy. Most places could hardly keep workers. Most places, like I tried to go to a car shop and they're all like, sorry, we're open, but nobody is willing to work after COVID. So COVID has negatively impacted the economy, and you want to treat players like they're made of money. They could just give you unlimited amount of money. And even if I was a wealthy player, it's not even the best there is. It's kind of like, it's like, why not play, a game that's made it out of the top 10 list? Neverwinter isn't even the top 10 best game anymore. When you look at the top 10 best games, you're going to find that Neverwinter doesn't make the list. You're not going to see like Neverwinter like hitting you see like Guild Wars 2, Lost Ark, Star Wars, RuneScape. You're not going to find a Neverwinter, Blade of Soul, League of Legends. And I could look at another one, like here's like a different one. But it's like Neverwinter's like nowhere on site. It's like Neverwinter has like all of this competition. So many games to play, so many games to play. And it's kind of like they're not working to give you the best storyline. They're not, giving you something great. In fact, they're just making long-term players angry, because it's like, if I already spent money on enchantments, why do I want to upgrade enchantments all over again? I already did it before. Why are, it's like they never want to give, a huge middle finger to their veteran players. I don't think it's right, because, I mean, there's so many games out there that will treat you better. Like, it's like, even if you want to, like, give money into a game, you could just give money to, like, World of Warcraft. You could just give, money to, like, Final Fantasy. You could just give money to Guild Wars 2. There's, like, so many other better games they could spend your money on, instead of game that doesn't treat his veteran players better.